Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Everybody Eats Show. We got a real good episode for you guys. So, on today's episode, we have Kendricks. So, this is actually our second time recording, and we recorded one a couple months back. Due to some technical issues, we actually didn't post out the episode. So, we are like, yo, we got to get him back. So, this is part two, right? This is the first time for you guys, but Kendricks, him and I like to say how we met our guests. So we met on Instagram sometime in 2020. At this point, I don't even know how long. Probably sometime spring or summertime of 2020.
Yeah,
Just sometime on the timeline. I don't even remember how it first interacted. Maybe I saw some of your content. Maybe that's probably. I think I probably saw some of your content and then reached out. But like I always say, most of our guests we meet through DMs, right? We meet through networking online. So that's real stuff. So that's
right.
how we met. Been following each other, staying in contact since, and it was like, yo, time to get you back on the podcast. All right, so
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, no problem.
Thanks for
So
coming twice, yo.
hey, yeah, thanks for coming
Yeah,
twice. So, on that note, before we begin, make sure that you are plugged in wherever we are, right? So, first off, make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, Everybody Eats Show on YouTube. Make sure you like and you subscribe to our latest videos. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you know whenever we drop a new episode or a new current events episode. We finally got that name down, Midnight Breakfast, right?
Midnight
For our current
Breakfast.
event series. So make sure that you're tuning in to our current event episodes, to our regular episodes. Make sure you're following us on social media on Instagram, everybodyeats.pod on Instagram. That's where we post all our snippets, clips, all that good stuff. Twitter, EBE Pod. And of course, you can listen to us anywhere you find, listen, or stream your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. Everybody Eats Show. Make sure that you're plugged in. Make sure that you share because everybody eats. Don't be selfish. All right. So you got that intro out the way. It's time for the actual episode. So, Mr. Kyle Maxwell, aka Kendricks, if you could do us a favor, introduce yourself. Where you from? What do you do? And then we'll get our conversation part two rolling.
well, I'm a 23-year-old entrepreneur, uh, CEO of Heart and Music Entertainment. That's a record label on the Eastern Shore, originated in 2017 with me, a few of my friends, people that are close to me. Ever since 2017, I've been working with local artists not so near me and around the country, almost helping them develop their brands, organizing their careers, and trying to, in any way, shape, or form, build relationships within the music industry and help craft their careers basically to make something happen. Independent record labels, they're not hugely funded. They're not they don't really have the pull that major record labels have, or like Def Jam and Interscope and Atlanta, like stuff like that. Definitely not there yet. So we're really scrappy and really all a team. And we're not really putting out much music now. I'm not even really working with a lot of artists really typically now. Starting at the end of last year, I've really been focused on Vivo Media Group. That's the social media agency that I started 2 years ago. Yeah, in the summer of 2019. That's the social media agency, the marketing agency. I've been working with clients pretty much around the country, helping small businesses craft their brands, produce content on social media. I just started consulting this year. I really did a switch this year because all of 2020 I've been doing like like $300 websites and like $250 and I just said like fuck that. Like I'm really I'm head focused trying to get bigger clients. I really did a really a big rebrand of Evo Media. I didn't want to be like a something cheap, and I don't know. This is me. So I'm trying to elevate that business, and It's really difficult. It's challenging. Like like going from small business to working and trying to incorporate yourself in the bigger corporations like Tyson or like 7-Eleven or things like that. It's really challenging, and it's you really have to know your shit, and it's really you have to be a kind of like a crazy person almost to even believe that you have the validation to speak to people that make way more money than you, people that have accomplished a lot more than you. So entrepreneurship that's really about just being insane. To be honest, that's the best you can put it. Like you have to be insane.
Would you say that that's what makes you pull up a table? I mean, a chair to the table with these people you say are bigger than you and stuff?
Yeah, like you have to have that element towards you. You have to feel as if you belong there. Because if there's a lot of things about. I'm sure you two have heard of imposter syndrome. Yeah. I hate that phrase. It's so cancerous. It's like it's one of those words when the more you continue to say it, it's like Beetlejuice, right? It's like if you just continue to say it, like just bad shit happens. Like just stop saying imposter syndrome. Like let's assume that exists. You should have imposter syndrome because it's a balance. You should have the insanity to even think that you deserve to be at the table, and you should have the imposter syndrome, which I call humility. That's pretty much what it is. And you should have the humility to think to yourself, okay, big shot, like calm your ass down, like you're not there yet. There's a balance between the two. I don't think we should be calling it imposter syndrome. That's humility to understand that you've made it this far, but don't think that you can't go back to the bottom. Like that's what really that is. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
I'd like to start with, I love your take on imposter syndrome. Humility is probably the best word to give it. So
yeah. And today, like we like maybe we can get into that. I won't start the podcast off that negative.
Nah, because that just got me thinking, like, I guess the whole like fake it till you, like when I think of imposter syndrome, I think of the whole like fake it till you make it mentality. Which I think maybe like your perspective, I guess like people's perspective on it. Like I never really liked the idea of fake it till you make it, but I guess I kind of understand what people mean by it. But I kind of like the idea rather of not necessarily faking it till you make it. I don't know. Like I guess I like the idea of like, I guess you say like humility. Like maybe I don't know everything right now, or knowing that you don't know everything right now, or also having the mentality of like, yo, if in your instance, like, yeah, you started off doing small business websites, that doesn't mean like if you're nice with it, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be at the table with the big boys. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. For me, that fake it till you make it mentality, I don't like the negative perspective of it. I like it rather, like you said, humility, or I'll get to that table, or I'll be at the table someday.
Yeah, the whole thing with fake it till you make it is, maybe I just look at it differently. I don't look at imposter syndrome as being an imposter or you not belonging there. I look at that as humility. And when people say fake it till you make it, I don't look at it as being fake. I look at that as courage. I look at that as believing in yourself. Like if you want to do something in life worth admiring, I mean, like everyone's not amazing. Everyone's not like brilliant. Everyone just can't spew out knowledge. Everyone might think they can, but I mean, like 1% of the world is incredibly brilliant in some type of thing. So the whole idea of like faking it till you make it is like, you have to have, if you want to be a part of that 1% of the people, the highly competent people that succeed in the world, you have to put how else are you going to get in that group without courage or without courageousness? How else are you going to get there? If you just look at what you're not and say, well, I'm not that, so maybe I don't know, go clock in at Walgreens or something. Like, how are you ever going to get in those rooms? How are you ever going to get in those circles? So it's not faking it till you make it. You need courage. It's that step of elevation. And people faking it till you make it. Like, you're not just fake. You're like, that doesn't even exist. Like, you're just fake. Like, people, there's two ways to go about it. You can have the humility and like and really understand that what you're doing is you're going from one spot to the next spot. You're not entitled to be in that group. Like, they don't, just because you get to that group, it doesn't mean they have to like bow down to you. Like, you have to earn it. Yeah. And when people, and that's one way of going about it, doing it the right way. Doing it the wrong way is assuming that there's some type of underlying reason why you're not in that group, or they're just hating on you, or they're trying to exclude you. And that might be the actual case. And that is a lot sometimes. Like, I'm pretty sure one of you guys experienced, you wanted to get, I know you remember, I remember you telling me that you're a part of like some alumni group in college or something. I can't, NABA? Is that right?
National Association. Yeah, NABA.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that, considering that type of thing, it's like, I'm pretty sure you ran across a group of people or someone that acted like they didn't want to give you an opportunity. So there's two ways to go about that. You can look at yourself, you can do some self-assessment and be like, okay, what do I need to do to get better? Or why did I get rejected by that person? Or what was that person's motive? Or you can do the 2021 version and, just go on social media and claim to be a victim, and then go out in the street and put some words on a sign. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's two ways to go about doing it. And the second way fucking sucks. And the thing is, when you take the accountability and when you put it on yourself, not only do you understand what happened, but you know what to do. You know what problems to fix when you self-assess yourself. The problem with going out in the street and assuming that all the answers to your problems are out in the ether somewhere, you don't know what to do. You're like, it makes no sense. Like, when people are out there begging, they're being subordinate to something else. When you're subordinate, when you're begging, it's implicit in that you are below what you're asking. You're saying, please, can I please have some rights? Can I please get hired? Oh, can you please accept me? It's so pathetic. Like, how can you ever be respected if you're not even willing to change something about yourself? It's insane, man. Like, when something happens and you're not accepted or you get rejected, you have two things. It's either fuck me, fuck this old me and I gotta change, or it's fuck them and get nothing. And the second way sucks.
It's something I think we had a quote. I don't know if it was with Jason, but pretty much it might be the change you want to.
Nah, it was I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Who said that?
Angela Bassett.
I have no idea who that is.
Crazy. But yeah.
Who is that? Just so I'm informed.
Angela Bassett, she's an actress.
No.
Oh yeah, that.
Yes.
Oh, so
no, that's Angela Davis.
Oh shit.
Angela.
I meant Angela Davis. It was
Davis.
100%. Yeah, I was like, nah. Oh man, that's crazy.
So the quote is Angela Davis.
Angela Davis. My bad.
The activist.
Oh, that's the communist activist woman.
Something like that.
I mean, no. If you Google her, they will.
No, that lady. Yeah, that lady was. She's a Marxist.
Yeah.
Right there with her name. So yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know all about her. I know the first woman you said.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
My bad.
But word. On that note, though, right? So, we just finished talking about kind of like what that quote said, changing things you can't accept, right? I know when you talk about your music label, one reason you said that you wanted to start your music label was to get away from the big music label taking advantage of artists, right? Yeah. Like the typical scenario where the artist signs, maybe they get they'll get signed, they'll probably get fronted $2 million. Yeah. Artist thinks that they're rich. Little do they know that that's literally just a loan they have to go pay him back. And you hear it all the time of artists getting over by their record label. So I know you said one of the reasons you started and wanted to go the independent route was to change that, make it more of a community, care more about the artist, make it more of a
Right,
team. So
right. And
I want to hear. So before you start, I want to hear what was that? What was the reasoning behind it, and then I guess
Journey.
the journey and the
Yeah.
story behind it.
right. So that is true, somewhat true, that I don't know how to word this. I don't like saying, I don't like using the talking points of the masses because that's how our brains stop growing. So I don't want to say record labels screwing artists because that's what everyone's saying. And I'm not denying that that possibly takes place, but there's two sides to every quarter.
That's so true.
Like these record labels are not like who the famous network. Like let me see. VH1 isn't like have a bulldozer and they just storm into your house and they're forcing you to sign like a 10-year contract. Like that's not how it works. It's a mutual agreement. So both parties are both parties, and this and another reason why I don't want to belittle it down to record labels screwing artists is because it's kind of like the first thing we talked about. You have two ways of looking at it. You can say, oh, these record labels they suck and all they want to do is, take my money. Or you can say, okay, I learned from this experience and I'm going to take actions to make it better. And if we agree that record labels screw artists, if we can all agree on that, that begs the question, okay, so if record labels are big, bad, evil capitalists, okay, so why are artists continuing to sign record labels? Why are they continuing to sign record deals? Why is that still put on the highest pedestal? I just got signed. Like, why are artists still doing that? If it was true that record labels were terrible and no one should do them, nobody would be still getting signed. So the fact that people are still getting signed and artists are still looking for deals, publishing, whether it's distribution, whether whatever it is, that shows that it's not all murky as people may make it sound. And I guess it's a politically correct thing to say, oh, fuck the label and whatever, yada, yada, yada. But this is a business at the end of the day. And when you belittle it down to record labels screwing artists, that takes away the responsibility for artists to ever not get screwed, because it makes it sound like getting screwed is inevitable. You're just going to get screwed. Like you just walk and they just stamp you with a screwed, stamp on your forehead. Like, it's not just like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's certain things that artists have to understand. And what I wanted to do with Harder Music Entertainment is give the artist that information to not get screwed. So the way you proposed it, like in my head, I was like, oh, he's making it sound like I'm running like some like altruistic nonprofit organization. Like, well, that's not what the fuck
That's not it. That's not it.
You're doing the same thing, making sure you read the fine print.
Yeah, exactly, because that's important. That's more important than standing outside of Capitol Records with a placard like and crying. That's more important. Giving them the tools so they don't need, labels. Because I don't even look at us as like a label. We're kind of like we're a team. Yeah. And that's how I like it. We're a team, and I own it. But we are a team. We're all leaders. And the thing with this is, I'm trying to give these people, and I'm not just going on the street, just signing random acts like the person on the side of the street, like with some nickels and sticks or something. It's not like that. I'm looking for specific talent. I'm looking for deep and like I have to have a relationship. Isn't like there's like a million genders now, right? Like, isn't it like one of those like you only have sex with people that you have a relationship with? Which one is that? It's like it's like one of those. It's one of
like a monogamous.
Nah,
like one person.
It's not that. It's there's one sexuality where you only have sex with people that you have a tight relationship with. Whatever that is, that's what we are. And it's like QC. I don't know, you guys probably know QC, right?
Quality control.
Yeah, like the Migos and the Cardi B and all them. Like we're kind of like I look up to them so much. Pierre Thomas, the CEO, I look at them so much because they move as a unit. Like obviously P and Coach K are in charge, but they move as a unit. Like no one's fucking with QC. They're the best label doing it right now. Like, that's just like, I don't give a fuck about the numbers. QC is just doing it. and probably they're doing it in numbers as well. I mean, that label is just fucking insane. How they they own Atlanta, Georgia. Like they fucking own that. Like that's insane. And I know Def Jam kind of has the New Yorks in that area. I know Capitol Records and Interscope, they kind of have LA down, but I don't know. It's just something about Houston, man. I don't know. Just the way that they take artists in and they just mold them and they do it all from scratch. They don't care. Like they just signed Metro Mars. He was an artist on Since the 80s. Since the 80s is a little small label in, I believe it's, I have no idea where Since the 80s is. But they just signed like a random act. Like he wasn't popping. He didn't have no number one hit. Like he didn't have no fucking charting record. Like they signed, they like yeah. But the thing is, like they do it the old way. Like they invest their time, they invest their money, they invest their knowledge, they invest themselves into the artist, and that is one of the core things that I'm trying to duplicate with Heart of Music Entertainment. Understood. And not just pick from the top of the tree, because that's how you end up with, you know, not the shit on Lil Nas. He had one of the biggest songs ever in the history of the world. But that's how you end up with Lil Nas X's. That's how you end up with Lil Xans. That's how you end up with I can go on like Lil Pumps. That's how you end up with.
But the one hit wonders are the trendy people, the people who just like sign on and make a couple of good hits.
And
but
they
then,
live on.
The rest you guys listen to
A Boogie. They don't have that longevity, you know.
Yeah, do you guys listen to A Boogie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Hybrid's a label. They signed a woman like last year. Like, where is she? You didn't even know that. Yeah, Hybrid's a label. They him, Don Q, what's the other guy's name? I think it's QP. They signed this girl because she had like a hot song at the time. And where is she? It's stupid. Labels are about, it's not about just picking like, and that's the thing. When if you're an artist, if you're an independent artist and you have a number one song, independent, like need a fucking label. What the hell you want your label for? You have a number one song. Like you don't need to sign anything. If you have a number one song out in the country right now, which is highly rare, I'm not trying to make this sound like that's something that anybody can do. If you have a number one song, if it's trending, if you're on TikTok, you can do that shit 100% by yourself. Yeah. You don't need to sign a record deal. That's the thing. There's different types of deals. So go for. I
don't mean cut you off.
I guess we can get into that.
Oh yeah. No, because you mentioned TikTok. I kind of want to get into that in the second segment. So I want to know if anybody had anything to add real quick before we wrap up, do a quote of the day, and then keep getting into it for our third and final segment. So Bensky.
All right. So for our quote of the day, Edom is going to say that quote for us, and then we'll try and guess who said it, and then give our take on it. So what we got?
All right. So this is probably my fourth time saying this, but you guys aren't gonna guess where the quote's from, but
it's from an anime
or a TV show. I watch those too. But the quote is, "The unknown world is much larger than the known world." So the unknown world is much larger than the known world.
I don't know who said it.
No, it's fine.
I like that though. Because I think the other day, I'm pretty sure we were talking about it. I think we were talking about like the ocean. I think we got like the beach or whatever. And we were talking about the ocean. We were talking about like, yo, it's crazy. Literally about like, yo, the ocean is so big, so vast. We don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean. And we were just chopping it up, saying how literally there's so much about it. One, it takes up 75% of the world. And there's so much about the ocean that we have no clue about, right? And then I think that's when you were talking about, like the unknown world is much larger than the known world. But I think even applying today, the first thing when you said it right now, the first thing that came up to my head was NFTs, crypto space, right? And how that's been popping off and how it's new, right? It's been around for a couple of years now, but it's still fairly new in its life cycle, you can say. And there's just so much to it, and there's so much being learned, so much coming out. NFTs, we recently started covering that. We did our current events episode about it. I'm still learning a bunch. Today I was listening to EYL podcast on NFTs and Bitcoin and Ethereum and just so much I know personally that I have no clue about. And even as the industry and as it continues to grow, digital assets, digital currency, there's so much to learn. There's so much to know about it, and so much not known about it to the common people, just like regular folks. Like a lot of people have no clue how Bitcoin, crypto, and all that stuff works. So that was the first thing that kind of came to my head about the unknown world. Speaking of the unknown world, but I think that's amazing though. Like that always leaves room for improvement. That always leaves room for creativity. That always leaves room for ingenuity, innovation. You don't want to know anything. There's no benefit and there's no excitement in knowing everything. You know what I mean? We're not God. We're simple humans, and that's how we grow, and that's how we learn. That's how we move on, by staying curious and trying to learn about things that we don't know. So that's the first thing that kind of came to my head, more about that digital space. And I know you made a video the other day about NFTs and stuff too. So
yeah, they're going crazy. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I actually I was on Clubhouse. Was it last night? Last night? Yeah. We talked about omnipresence pretty much for like 4 hours, like being God and knowing everything. We talked about that for like 4 hours. So that was interesting that you just said that. And there's way more things that we don't know that we know. And like you said, we're not meant to know everything. We never will. And that's why we continue to seek knowledge. That's why we continue to seek. That's why we continue to ask questions. That's why we're having interviews. That's why we talk to each other. And it's so sad for people that can't appreciate that part of life. They just have to know the answer, and they just have to know the answer. And after you know everything, Socrates, he said, the only thing that I know, probably I'm screwing up his quote, but the only thing I know is that I know nothing. Like, and he was one of the smartest motherfuckers that ever walked the earth. So it's like, so if you think you're a genius, yeah, well, the real genius didn't know shit. So what do you think? What do you think you're doing? So yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I think I mean, piggybacking off the some people can't enjoy it. To me it's the like simplicity of it, just being able to just take in the fact, like even we were at the beach. To me, like I was just there skipping rocks, just thinking about, we don't know what lies where, human machines and where humans can't go under, because of all that pressure. Of course there's something living there. And that, to me, that thought is just enough. I don't have to see what it looks like. I don't have to know. Just a simple thought or the ability to just skip stones, any day of the week and just think about what's really going on under there, and not have to be pressed and, stress myself out to know more. So just piggybacking off the appreciation aspect. But one more time for our listeners before we wrap up, the quote is, the unknown world is much larger than the known world. The unknown world is much larger than the known world.
Yes, sir. All right. So on that note, we'll wrap up segment 2. So now segment 3, I know you said you wanted to ask more questions about artists on TikTok. I know that's
it's a new thing recently.
It's a new thing. And I think what's really amazing about the social media era that we live in is it's amazing. And we were talking about this the other day, how it's a blessing and a curse, how literally anybody can become famous now, right? With the right video, the right post, with the right whatever.
I mean, TikTok set up that way, like on purpose. Anybody, the people it's to the point where anyone like people so low, like if we posted the right TikTok, we could get 15 million views. It's so niche and focused in that aspect. Like in that what's the word? I guess the social media marketing aspect of it, the way people are so easily, validated, whatever you want to call it, by all these likes and whatnot. You have, your regular ass person, they can get 15 mil off, whether it be a reaction video or just them doing a challenge and messing up. So the TikTok space to me, I'm not on TikTok. I refuse to get on TikTok. Won't see
Why,
me
man?
on TikTok. I'm
on TikTok.
nah. Believe it or not, I'm barely on Instagram. If you follow me,
I think I know why you're not on TikTok.
I don't like TikTok. I don't like TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't
thing
see
is,
any reason to keep
I was there
to
too.
just it's like I
makes you
had
cringe.
Vine and I would spend hours on Vine as a kid. And then I'm like, TikTok, I think before TikTok was anything was Musically, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely had zero interest in that. And to me, one, even when I'm on Instagram, I do see people for the most part, people are sending me TikToks through DMs and all the stuff on the funny meme pages that I'll see, I'll scroll 2 or 3 times. They're TikToks. So I personally see no reason to get on TikTok. And yeah, I don't know. So
Can't relate. But
yeah. I think it makes you cringe. Does it make you cringe when you get on TikTok?
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. Yeah, TikTok to me, like, so I don't have Twitter either. Anything?
Oh damn!
Anything?
Nah,
no. Okay, cool.
Anyways, you're in the dark ages, man.
Anyways,
that's how you guess all the memes.
Yo, I only need Instagram. That's it. I only care about Instagram, because I get my news elsewhere.
Not your memes.
All right.
man,
anyways,
world,
that gets sent to me. But what I want to say was,
the world is going right now. Like, it's probably best that you stay off of those things.
That's what I'm saying. Twitter. That's what I'm saying. Like Twitter.
Bro, exactly.
Twitter either is like the greatest app or the worst app.
Exactly.
Like,
and
it's definitely the worst.
I'm either crying laughter, like it's something like stupid happens, like I'm laughing at the memes, like I'm having a great time, or like I'm ready to crush my phone in my hands by the stuff that people talk about.
Exactly. So I have
it's one of the
I have people like him coming and telling, not telling me, but he's like, you can kind of tell he's fuming because of some dumb shit he saw on Twitter. And then, I have other people I play with, they'll, like, if I'm on PlayStation or something, they'll join the party, and then, they let out a big ass yell, and then we get into a discussion about something stupid someone saw on Twitter or whatever. And, TikTok to me, I mean, some videos are pretty dumb I've seen, and I don't know. I don't see any value in it for my personal usage. But I do think it's interesting the fact that we went on a tangent there, but Jason Derulo, only name him because I remember his song, but the Savage Love song, Savage, nope. Him and among other TikTok artists have the ability to get paid, I believe, off their songs that go viral off TikTok, and I really want to know what your opinion was on that. Your thoughts, how you feel about it, where you think that's going. Yeah.
So UMG, Universal Music Group, they capitalized on the whole TikTok thing like I think it was almost 2 years ago. They've been made in DistroKid, one of the biggest music aggregators in the world, like TuneCore, MusicKid, CD Baby, Reverb Nation, those type of music distributors. Like if you wanted to put a song on Apple Music, you would have to go through CD Baby or DistroKid or one of the distributors. They've already made partnerships with TikTok. So when artists put the music on, if they want to get their song on Spotify, these companies, they already partner with TikTok. So when you upload your song, you can click, okay, Spotify, I want to put my song on YouTube Music, and I want to put my song on TikTok. It's an option, it's a built-in option. So they're already coming together, and that cat, they're already coming together, and it's huge. Like thousands of songs have been broken on TikTok, and it's really fucking huge. Like, and the thing is with these influencers, they're so cheap and it's so underpriced. It's so cheap to run a campaign like for a label. Like I know like the people that it was one song. One of the things I don't like about it kind of commoditizes the music. So it's like, or maybe it's constructed that way so you can say who the hell made this song anyway. Like, and so then you can organically go look and see who made it. But it was one of those. You're not gonna know it because you're not on TikTok, but I think Bensky knows it. It was a song that went like "Do My Dance" in these $1,000 pants, something like that. And then like hold on top with them. Yeah. I follow an A&R on Twitter, and she was a part of that campaign. And I seen them kind of like craft the whole thing like from the beginning to the end. And when I seen her post that, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know she was even a part of that. So it's really cool to see how music and how the record labels have incorporated this platform, and like no other platform has been able to do this. Like Instagram used to be the biggest A&R for a long time, but they're kind of they're significantly losing to TikTok. And it's going to get bigger and bigger. And adding NFTs to the space, like I don't know how they're going to do that. It's only going to work with the big dogs. Like if you're like a upcoming artist, like if you're like a Fujiano, if you're like or if you're let me see, I know Pooh Shiesty is getting big, but they're probably not gonna make a whole like a big noise around like selling tangible digital assets on the internet. But artists like Baby or Drake, I look at NFTs kind of like a proper OnlyFans. Like they used to that was a really big trend during that, like the downslope of the pandemic, because obviously all the artists are not getting paid, not getting booked, not getting money, and so you've seen a lot of artists like Cardi B, Tyga, fucking like I think even Soulja Boy made it only like all rappers were just making OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they're finding different ways to get income, but the thing is with OnlyFans is it's kind of they're in like a dark pornography like a light, so it's kind of like weird to have an OnlyFans, but I know that's not the intended purpose of the platform. Yeah. And they switch. Like I know TikTok right now is a bunch of idiots like doing dumbass dances, but you have to remember Instagram in 2011, it was like 50-year-olds, taking pictures of the Mount Everest with a filter on it. Like that's what it was just 10 years ago. So who knows? There might be philosophers on TikTok like hosting like hour-long events like in some weird like virtual reality stuff. We don't fucking know what's gonna happen in 10 years. So yeah, TikTok is going crazy, and who knows? Maybe, and I know, and TikTok was early on NFTs. If you think about it, because they had a feature. I don't know if you guys seen it, but they had coins and stuff.
I wouldn't know.
I never looked into it. They have like TikTok coins, and what you do is, if you follow like a big influencer, if you follow like a big like artist or whatever, you could like buy their coins. And I really didn't look into it yet, but I always seen it. I was like, what the fuck is this coin thing? And so they were kind of on the digital asset wave like ahead of time. So yeah, things are the digitization of the music industry. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, it's going to keep getting bigger.
No, for sure. I think it's really again.
Oh wait, just to end that, yeah. When you said that people were getting like, you guys can make the right video and it'll get like a gajillion views, is because in early 2020, get ready for the statistic, 80% of people on TikTok were consumers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
80% of that. Yeah, so the amount of people making content was microscopic to the amount of people that are watching shit. It's just a big ass audience, and it's like four people making videos.
Yeah, I feel like not everyone, not everyone can dance. Not everyone can come up with a really unique, I guess like feel or spin. You see Randy's comedy, the background thing he does. You see other people. I don't know if that's on TikTok. Yeah. They bring it here, but yeah, not everyone's built like that. So that I think that's what makes TikTok. I think Vine was really similar. I remember just watching a lot of Vines, and you see the same couple content creators, and the ones that weren't, all pizzazzy, you just skipped right over. So again, never even clicked on the TikTok app, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. Which is why I think it's a lot easier for, like you said, some people, and you just said, it's a much bigger audience compared to everyone.
And what's funny, when Vine went out of business, they got totally trampled because Instagram was acquired by Facebook, and they started making videos. So, and you looked at Instagram, they just incorporated Reels. So who knows? Maybe. And you said that half of the things you see on Instagram are just basically just fucking copy the whole entire concept. And Instagram also took out Snapchat from the game. They took stories. That's what Instagram does. they're adding rooms now. They updated last
like the
week. They have
clubhouse thing, like
yeah,
the clubhouse vibe, because Twitter already has that. Twitter already has that.
Mark
Not a lot of
Zuckerberg
people-
ain't playing with y'all, yo.
Nah, for real. But like, yeah,
Playing with
like
you.
I saw a video about Gary Vee, and he was talking about like pretty much like the acquisition and like the copy and blah blah blah, right? Like Instagram taking the stories from Snapchat. Like Snapchat was on top. He was talking about like one Snapchat.
Snapchat used to be on top, then Instagram cut that shit out real quick.
Yeah, when they took the stories, it now has
Snapchat's dead.
Now has stories, and how Clubhouse is popping. Actually, Twitter's been having that same feature for a minute, but not a lot of people know about it. I literally just found out about it. I think Gary Vee who probably tweeted about it. He was like, "Yo, you know, Twitter has like the same thing, but like no one uses it, right?" I didn't know about that, but he was kind of saying the same feature. Wait till Instagram, Facebook, and a bunch of these other apps start getting these room spaces. It's going to be the same thing. Will Clubhouse, you know, exist and continue to exist? If other apps do that,
specializing in it, they gotta figure out a new angle
and something to make themselves different. But to kind of to continue kind of from that TikTok space, one, I like how you said like TikTok kind of evolved the same way that Instagram evolved, right? One of the reasons I didn't want to get in TikTok originally was somewhat similar. I'm like, yo, like I don't want to sit here and watch these 13-year-old kids dance. But then kind of as TikTok. Yeah, but then kind of as TikTok evolved and how people have gotten creative of how they use TikTok, you know, making instructional videos, making content, making music, using it for advertising for their business. You know what I'm saying? If that's the platform where the eyes are, and even in comparison to Reels, right? You know, Instagram is pushing Reels like crazy. All that is like forms of content. You know,
crazy. My Reels.
And put the button, Instagram, the create a post button used to be in the bottom center, right? Now they put that in the top right corner, and they put the Reels icon in the bottom center. All that's ways just to push Reels. So the way I look at it now,
so much muscle memory trying to figure out how not to click on the middle.
Exactly. That's how they screw you. But what I started, the way I look at it now is just taking advantage of this. Like if that's the game they want to play, take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, is TikTok still a lot of dancing videos? Of course. But it's kind of like the way you use it. Right now, we're using Reels to promote our podcast. We're gonna start using Reels. Using Reels to promote things like that. Can you dance and do challenges and do that to promote? Sure. But it's the ways that you use it, and it goes back to the way of how social media has changed. We all think about Facebook started off as just, you know, college students in their dorms trying to do that. Now it's one of the biggest advertising agencies in the world. You know what I'm saying? So like things change. So yeah, it's interesting to see where TikTok ends up. I think if they keep making these moves, NFTs, and start getting to these, you know, different moves, who knows? It could easily take over. It could easily take over as the next, I don't want to say the next big thing, as or one of the biggest social media platform. Easily it could do that. And last point in regards to music, I think TikTok, Instagram, I think social media in general, I think when it comes to promoting music is really special, because you kind of think about how big artists like Lil Nas X, he blew up. Old Town Road blew up because of a meme. He said that he just started pumping out memes with Old Town Road in the back, or videos or whatever, Old Town Road in the back for months, and then it blew up. And Elon Musk tweeted something one time saying whoever controls the memes controls the world. And that's actually a fact. If you think about social media, the reason memes blow up, you think of every single stupid meme that's ever happened recently. Right now,
GameStop and AMC,
all those memes that happen right now. You see the Queen, the Vision memes with, you know, in the turtleneck. Those memes go crazy. You think of the Bernie Sanders memes, like those things go across the world. If you can make a nice meme, a nice TikTok, a nice reel, a nice piece of content on these social media platforms, especially if you're a music artist, if you can, like you said back in the beginning, if you could blow up by yourself as an independent artist, if you could leverage social media as an independent artist, you don't need these record labels or need a record label or anything. You can just run it yourself. And this is a special time where it's not the 90s or the 80s anymore, where you can't get popping, you know, by yourself. It's 2021. You can easily become famous by yourself. You know, where it's, again, going back to saying that's a blessing and a curse depending on what you're making, the perspective that you could easily blow up. So that's my little spiel. I just had to get that all out. So those are my final points. But on that note, I think that covers what I want to talk about. Any final points from your end, either? Mr. Maxwell, any final points on your end? You want
you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Conversation.
Nah, for sure,
Yes.
for sure. We might have to do a part 2. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe part 2 will be on live or something. But on that note, before we leave, how can people find you? How can people find out about your companies, what you do, your social medias? Let people know your socials.
It's at Kendricks. I really don't care if anyone follows me. I mean, me in person, I really don't care. But it's KHENDRIX. It's KHENDRIX. Kendricks on literally every platform.
And no, he didn't get it from Future.
No, he didn't. Nah,
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's crazy because I used to have long dreads. I used to have my hair was like down my back.
I saw those pictures. I saw those pictures.
Prime, bro.
That joint was crazy. That was how long ago did you cut it? And like how long were you growing them?
It was I cut them in the beginning of 2018. And it's crazy because I changed my hair and I changed the way I spelled my name. Like I changed, like I was going through I guess a metamorphosis, if you want to call it that. And my hair was down my back, and people, and when I was in high school, all they used to call me was Hendrix or Hendrix, and I guess, and people always ask me, where'd you get the name Kendricks from? And I actually guess that's where I got it from, because they used to call me Hendrix in high school, so I think that's where I got Kendricks from. Because I don't know where I have no idea where Kendricks came from. Yeah, that's crazy, because they used to call me Hendrix all the time. That's fucking crazy. Wow, I can't believe this. I just came to that realization.
That'll be
so
15
stupid.
for your therapy session.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
For sure. So the song. So
of course, yo. So as usual, try to ask our guests. We've been pretty good lately. If you can give us one song that you've either think represents your brand, your journey, or just one song you've really been listening to a lot lately. For our playlist we're trying to curate.
You know, it's funny because the song that I have in my head, because I'm a musician, like that was the first thing I ever was, and I listen to a lot of classical music. So, in respect to your playlist viewers, I'm not gonna put them to sleep. So I won't. So I won't give the title of that song, because that might just that might delete some subscribers for you, but. A song that represents my life. It would have to be a song that I've been listening to a lot. Does it have to be a lot, or can it be more of a song that describes like where I'm at?
A song that describes where you're at. Any song that you really connecting with right now.
I kind of want to give you the names to the classical song, just like troll your playlist.
Like Beethoven classic, or like how classical are we talking?
Like the Romance era. So
you better
15th century.
Hey, I mean,
all right. So 15th century Beethoven song.
But it's not Beethoven, though.
I feel like I'm getting quizzed.
What's the song? Just tell us.
I'm making sure I'm getting my centuries right. I want to make sure, because I don't want to disrespect the 18th, the 17th century. I'm sorry. So the song that describes me is it's a song by, and this guy's way better than Beethoven. If you ask me, Franz Liszt, he was the best composer to ever lived.
How do you
Franz?
F-A-R-N-T?
F-A-R-L-I-S-Z-T? Yeah, Liszt. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hungarian composer. He was the best ever. And the song that represents me, it has to be, it's a long name, so just prepare. Chasse Nage, Transcendental Etude, number 12.
You're going to have to type that. Type that in the chat.
Oh, yeah, we have okay.
Where is it? We'll get that added. Give us a whole sentence.
And, shit. As I'm typing this, the reason why I'm picking this song is because you just have to listen to it. I won't even try to describe it. It's probably the best song that's ever been made.
I want to hear it, but I can't even spell it.
Oh my god, it's so hard to type on the phone keyboard. Come on, you motherfucker. There we go. Transcendental to number. There we go.
There we
Huge
go.
name. Did it pop up?
Got it. Chase
Transcendentally to number 12.
Got it.
That song is part of a 12 song movement. So there's 12 songs to this on time movement, but Chase Age is the last one. And it's a remarkable song. It has like beauty, the element, that the elegance of it, of the romance era. It has deep and a dark side with a little bit of the chromaticism within the songs, the movements, the cadenzas within it, the way that it's phrased, it's high and low, and it's combating, and it has so much noise going on in the background, but the song is trying to stay on pace. So the reason why I picked that song is because I'm a sociopath, and I have so much noise that's going on. The song is like a terrible song on the outsides, on the lower octaves, but there's like a beautiful like symphony going on in the mid section. It's crazy. You have to listen to it. It's not too long. It's about 5 minutes, but that basically sums up my life because there's so much craziness going on in my life. But in the middle, in my head, I'm trying to stay sane and not kill anyone.
Nah, for real.
I'm just kidding.
It had me, wondering at first, but you turned, like,
Yeah.
there we go.
Nah,
yeah, you guys should listen to it at the end of this. Like, really listen to it.
I'll give it a listen. Got it.
Yeah.
So that's
and you can't listen to it and like be scrolling on Instagram or like walking around. Like you have to like
sit there and pay attention.
Sit down, yeah, listen to it.
For sure,
okay.
For sure. So,
but if you want to listen to it, listen to I'm gonna put it in the chat because not a lot of people can play the song correctly. There's only one guy that plays it, two people that play it right. So I'm gonna put his name. You can either listen to Dennis Berezovsky play it, or you can hear.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, he's my cousin too. That's crazy. You can listen to Berezovsky play it or Daniil. In my opinion, Berezovsky, he plays it really, really good. But Daniil, he brings out the pathology within the song. Berezovsky, he plays it like hard, like for an audience. Like Berezovsky plays for the audience. Actually, that's reversed. Daniil, he plays for the fucking audience. Like you're gonna, if you're into music like that, like you're gonna like fucking cry. But Berezovsky, he kind of plays it because it's the 12. Like no, you can't just play that song. Like these people played 12 songs, bro. Like 12 pieces. They're like 5 or 6 minutes. So the whole thing's like an hour. So
dropped a whole LP, 12 song track.
Yeah. so at the end, like, and if you watch the video on YouTube at the end, like the pianist, like they're fucking like there's like sweat. Like, they look like they just played like 7 back-to-back games of basketball. It's crazy. And like you just in the last song, and you just it's the last one, and you just put out, you leave it all in the field. It's amazing. You have to listen to it.
Nah, for sure. So I'll definitely
appreciate that. Yeah.
Jot that down for sure. So
am I good at selling?
Yeah. For sure.
I was really just practicing, to be honest. I was really practicing.
Nah, for sure, definitely.
You got it.
It's different, so I'll add it to my repertoire. But again, thank you for that song. We'll add it to the playlist. That's something different. You already gave us you already gave us the social, so that means we could wrap this up. So for everyone who's still watching, if you are not subscribed, make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. We have new episodes coming out, whether they're current event episodes talking about the current events, We have episodes on NFTs. We have episodes on real estate. We have episodes to entrepreneurship, proper mindset. So make sure you are subscribed. We are on social media on Instagram, everybodyeats.pod on Instagram. Again, that's where all our clips, posts, reels, TikToks, all that stuff is on there. So make sure that you're plugged in and you're followed. On Twitter, EBE Pod. And we're anywhere you listen to podcasts, we are on there. So we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you want to listen, stream, bump your podcast, we are there. So make sure that you're tuned in and plugged. So on that note, thank you, Kendricks, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Listeners, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure that you like and share. Don't be selfish. Everybody eats. See you guys next week.